Hi, I'm Ryan.
I'm Jennifer. We're a couple of booksellers from Calgary.
And this guy right here, that's Jojo. She's our resident quality control supervisor.
Today we're showing you some of the newest books we've added to our Amazon store.
There's everything from rare finds to special editions, plus a few surprises at the end.
We always save the most interesting titles for the end, so stick around. You might just find something special.
Thanks so much for watching. And if you enjoy book haul videos like this, vintage finds, or you like browsing shelves from the comfort of your own home, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Keep up to date. We'd love to have you along. First up, we have Jersey Tomatoes Are the Best by Maria Hadjian. Jersey Tomatoes Are the Best is a funny, honest, and deeply touching story about two best friends, Eva and Henry. They face the summer that changes everything. Eva's off to New York City to chase her dream of becoming a ballerina. Henry's heading to Florida to compete at one of the top tennis academies. It's exciting, terrifying, and the first time they've ever been apart. But chasing perfection comes with a cost. Eva starts listening to this voice in her head that tells her she's never going to be good enough. Henry knows something is wrong, and miles away she feels helpless to stop it. Still, through every call, every text, every hard moment, they fight to hold on to what matters most, the love and loyalty that only true friendship can bring. When everything else feels like too much, knowing someone truly sees you can be everything. Jersey Tomatoes Are the Best is more than a story about sports or summer. It's about identity, pressure, and the people that keep us grounded. Natasha Tourmy was born into the children of God, a cult that promised salvation but delivered abuse. Raised to believe she was part of a chosen army with a divine mission, Natasha was separated from her parents, beaten daily, and forced to perform for strangers. At 18, she escaped, only to find herself lost in the world she did not understand, haunted by trauma and searching for identity. Her story is one of survival, recovery, and the fight to reclaim stolen childhood. This isn't just a memoir. It's a powerful expose of the darkness hidden behind commune walls and a testament to the strength it takes to start over. Baxter Black, the world's best-selling cowboy poet and author of The Cactus Tracks and Cowboy Philosophy, and public radio's favorite former large animal veterinarian, is back in the saddle with a hilarious new roundup of essays, commentaries, and campfire verse that speaks to the cowboy soul in each of us. Drawn in part from Baxter's wildly popular NPR commentaries and syndicated columns, Horseshoes, Cowsocks, and Duckfeet offers a generous helping of his tender yet irreverent sagebrush take on everything. From ranching, roping, Wrangler jeans and rodeos, to weddings and romance, the love of a good dog, dancing, parenting, cooking up trouble, and talking about the weather. If you haven't ridden with Baxter before, find out what more than 1 million dedicated fans are laughing about, inside and outside the corral. What happens when a world-renowned business thinker walks away from corporate giants to live life as a flea? In The Elephant and the Flea, Charles Handy reflects on his journey from oil executive to global thought leader and the shifting landscape of work in the 21st century. Through wit, wisdom, and deeply personal insight, Handy explores the trade-offs between security and freedom and what it really means to find purpose in a world no longer built on lifetime jobs. 10 Days to D-Day looks beyond the headlines of June 6, 1944, and focus on what led up to it, the quiet tension, the planning, and the people involved. Historian David Stafford tells the story through the eyes of soldiers preparing to land, intelligence officers managing misinformation, resistance fighters risking their lives behind enemy lines, and civilians caught in the uncertainty of what was to come. This isn't just about battle tactics. It's about the individuals whose choices, fears, and determination shape the outcome of the war. Using letters, diaries, and newly released intelligence records, Stafford brings the final countdown to life in a way that's personal, accessible, and deeply human. If you're interested in World War II history from a fresh angle, 10 Days to D-Day offers a compelling, real-world look at how the biggest moments in history are built, one decision at a time. What if one of the most influential figures in Christianity was also one of its most controversial? In Paul as a Problem in History and Culture, author Patrick Gray digs deep into why the Apostle Paul has inspired so much debate, both inside and outside the church, for centuries. From ancient critiques to modern thinkers who see Paul as more formative than Jesus himself, Gray traces how reactions to Paul have shifted across time and culture. This isn't just church history, it's a story about influence, identity, and why Paul continues to provoke strong opinions today. Gray weaves intellectual and cultural history with New Testament study to explore what our views of Paul reveal about us and the world we live in. Whether you admire Paul or question his legacy, this book offers a fresh, balanced perspective on Christianity's most debated apostle. Life Expectancy by Dean Koontz. In Life Expectancy, best-selling author Dean Koontz delivers a thoughtful, suspenseful story about fate, family, and the unexpected paths we're sometimes forced to walk. Jimmy Talk is born on the same night his grandfather dies. But before passing, his grandfather makes a strange prediction. 5 dark days will define Jimmy's future. At first it seems like the ramblings of a dying man, but when every detail of Jimmy's birth matches the prophecy, the warning becomes impossible to ignore. As the story unfolds across each of those 5 days, Jimmy faces challenges that push him to his limits and reveal a destiny he never could have imagined. This isn't just a thriller. It's a story about resilience, love, and what it means to face the unknown with courage. If you enjoy character-driven suspense with depth and heart, Life Expectancy is a journey worth taking. This next one is a debut novel by Dana Chambly Carpenter, a historical fiction, The Bohemian Gospel. And this from the cover. 13th century Bohemia is a dangerous place for a girl, especially one as odd as Mouse, who was born with unnatural senses and an uncanny intellect. Some call her a witch. Others call her an angel. Even Mouse doesn't know who or what she is, but she means to find out. When young King Ottokar shows up at the abbey wounded by a traitor's arrow, Mouse breaks church law to save him, and then agrees to accompany him back to Prague as his personal healer. Caught in the undertow of court politics at the castle, Ottokar and Mouse find themselves drawn to each other as they work to uncover the threat against him and unravel the mystery of her past. But when Mouse's unusual gifts give rise to a violence and strength that surprise everyone, especially herself, she is forced to ask, will she be prepared for the future that awaits her? A heart-thumping, highly original tale, Bohemian Gospel heralds the arrival of a fresh new voice in historical fiction. In Desert Star, LAPD's Renee Ballard teams up with Harry Bosch for one final hunt for justice. Their target? A killer who wiped out an entire family and disappeared. As they work through cold cases, political landmines, and their own personal limits, Ballard and Bosch uncover more than just buried evidence. They confront what justice really means in a world that's moving on without them. In August of 1896, 3 men found gold along the Klondike River. And within a year, thousands were flooding north, chasing dreams of sudden fortune. It was harsh, desperate, and unforgettable. In The Man from the Creeks by Robert Crouch, he takes us back to that wild moment in time. 14-year-old Pete and his mother Lou stow away on a riverboat bound for Dawson City. They're caught and almost forced to walk the plank until a man with a secret stash of whiskey, Ben Red, bargains for their lives. From there, the journey only gets harder. Together they climb the infamous Chilkoot Pass, face starvation, avalanches, and the raw brutality of the gold rush. Along the way, they meet a cast of unforgettable characters and chase a dream that's just out of reach. This is a novel about grit, survival, and what it really meant to gamble everything for a shot at gold. It's a tough, sometimes funny, sometimes brutal story about the people who risked everything to find something better. The Boy from Block 66 is a nonfiction true story about Mosh Kessler, a 14-year-old boy who survived both Auschwitz and a death march, only to arrive at Buchenwald in the early 1940s. He's placed in Kinder Block 66, a children's barracks quietly protected by a resistance group operating inside the camp. This book follows his experience in one of the darkest chapters of the Holocaust, showing how a small group risked everything to shield young prisoners. It's a detailed, deeply human account of survival, and one of the most remarkable true stories to come out of Buchenwald. Okay, shifting gears. If you love fast-paced political thrillers, this 2-book behemoth, complete and unabridged from Tom Clancy, is a serious contender. In Red Storm Rising, you're dropped right into the chaos of global warfare. Soviet forces move on Europe. Oil is running dry. The world is on the edge of an all-out conflict. Think submarines, fighter jets, high-stakes battles. Clancy doesn't hold back. Then, in the Cardinal of the Kremlin, it's high-stakes spy game warfare. Jack Ryan, one of Clancy's most iconic characters, is back, this time trying to extract a top American spy from the heart of the Kremlin before the KGB closes in. One mistake could start a war. Tom Clancy was a master of military and intelligence storytelling. His attention to detail, his pacing, his realism. There's a reason these books define the genre, and he is considered one of the greats. Whether you're already a fan or just diving in, this set is a great place to start. Keeping with the theme of spycraft, we have The Bourne Ultimatum by Robert Ludlum. Part 1 of the explosive conclusion to the original Bourne trilogy. When an old enemy resurfaces, David Webb is forced to step back into the deadly persona of Jason Bourne. His mission? Outwit and eliminate Carlos the Jackal once and for all. With international intrigue, deadly encounters, and non-stop suspense, this is classic Ludlum at his best. Sharp, relentless, and unforgettable. Sliding on over to children's books. First up we have Dragon Masters, Fortress of the Stone Dragon by Tracy West. Part of the New York Times best-selling Dragon Masters series from Scholastics. This one's packed with magic, danger, and of course, dragons. An evil wizard named Astrid is on the loose, and she's headed straight for the Fortress of the Stone Dragon. Her goal? To bring ancient dragon bones back to life with a dark spell. Drake and Mina, along with a new dragon master named Casper, have to stop her before it's too late. It's a fast-paced, early chapter book perfect for readers in grades 1 through 3, with full-page illustrations, cliffhanger endings that keep kids turning pages. It's a great choice if your young reader loves fantasy, friendship, and epic dragon battles. If you're looking for a hilarious and heartwarming read for kids, It's a Whole Bunch of Munch is a fantastic choice. This collection brings together 6 of Robert Munch's most loved stories, like Pajama Day, Roar, and It's My Room, with lively illustrations by Michael Marchenko and Jay Ochik. Plus, there are behind-the-scenes notes from Munch himself. Whether you're reading aloud or sharing a laugh at bedtime, this book's a winner for the whole family. Mitford is a giraffe, but not your everyday live-on-the-savannah giraffe. Mitford works at Cover Magazine in one of the biggest cities in the world. But now another city needs Mitford, and soon the chic giraffe is surrounded by palm trees and super famous celebrities. It would be great to sunbathe by the pool, but it's the day of the Academy Zoo Awards, and these movie stars must have the most fabulous dress or tux ever. Can Mitford deliver everyone's fashion demands in time? Now for some of our special selections. Have you seen this set before? Our Alberta Heritage is a 3-volume series full of fascinating short stories about Alberta's past. It was published in the 1970s by Calgary Power and originally aired as radio stories before being turned into books. These stories capture everything from pioneer life and Indigenous legends to railway towns and old-time Alberta characters. The books were never sold in stores. They were handed out for free, which makes them, surprisingly, a pretty rare find today. If you love Canadian history, or Alberta history, or you're looking for something truly local to add to your collection, this is a great piece to hold on to. Moving on to one of the most loved Canadian novels ever published. This is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. It first came out in 1908 and tells the story of Anne Shirley. She's a spirited orphan who's sent, by mistake, to live with 2 siblings on Prince Edward Island. She ends up changing their lives in unexpected ways. This centennial edition marks 100 years since the original release and includes a note from Montgomery's grandchildren. It's a thoughtful edition for collectors or anyone discovering Anne for the first time. Montgomery was born in 1874 in Prince Edward Island. She lost her mother as a baby and was raised by her grandparents in Cavendish, the same place that inspired the world of Anne of Green Gables. She wrote over 20 novels, but Anne is the one that made her a household name. If you're looking for a story that combines humor, heart, and a strong sense of place, and still feels relevant and full of life more than a century later, Anne of Green Gables is a beautiful place to start. And here we have a classic romance double feature from Barbara Cartland, one of the most published authors in the world. This special 2-in-1 book club edition includes A King in Love, where red-haired Zita hides her royal identity to meet the handsome King Maximilian and ends up stealing his heart, without him knowing she's a princess. Then there's Riding to the Moon, where Indira, recently orphaned and desperate to escape her past, poses as a noblewoman to outwit a pompous marquis. What starts as a scheme soon turns into something far more personal. If you love historical romance with twists of fate, daring heroines, and plenty of charm, this volume delivers 2 sweeping love stories in one. Now, for one of our final selections, we have the Black Stallion series by Walter Farley. For generations, the Black Stallion series by Walter Farley has captured the hearts of readers. Its thrilling blend of adventure, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between a boy and a horse. Farley wrote the first book while he was still in college, and the series went on to become a worldwide bestseller, inspiring movies, a TV show, and countless young readers to fall in love with horses. The box set features 4 standout titles: In the Black Stallion, young Alec Ramsey survives a shipwreck with a wild black Arabian stallion. Stranded together, they form a deep bond, and when they return home, Alec and a retired trainer secretly prepare the untamed black for a high-stakes race against champion horses. The Black Stallion returns, takes Alec to Arabia after the black is claimed by a sheik. Risking everything, Alec travels across the desert to reunite with the horse he loves, facing danger and deception along the way. In The Black Stallion and Satan, Alec is raising the black's first colt. But when a wildfire breaks out near a race, Alec must ride both stallions to safety. It's a powerful race for survival, father against son, fire against speed. And finally, the Black Stallion mystery sees Alec tracking down the black's origins after discovering several look-alike colts. His search leads to a secret valley in the Middle East and a hidden legacy that changes everything. Walter Farley's stories aren't just about racing. They're about trust, perseverance, and the adventures that shape us. That's what makes the Black Stallion a classic that still holds up to this day. Imagine writing one of the most influential books of all time, while locked up for preaching without a license. That's what John Bunyan did in 1660. Jailed for 12 years, he turned confinement into creation, drafting the Pilgrim's Progress, a bold spiritual allegory that's never been out of print since 1678. The story follows a man named Christian who leaves behind the city of destruction and journeys toward the celestial city. Along the way, he battles giants, temptation, despair, and everything in between. It's part adventure story, part spiritual guidebook, and surprisingly readable, even today. First released by Folio in 1962, this edition was reissued in 2006 with some real historical flair. The copper engravings by John Sturt were taken from an 18th century painting, so what you're seeing is almost the exact art readers saw in 1750. It's printed on Caxton wove paper, quarter bound in cloth, and produced by Cambridge University Press. Even if you're not religious, this book shaped history. It influenced writers like C.S. Lewis and Tolstoy, and has been translated into over 200 languages. It is a timeless Christian allegory born from persecution. The Pilgrim's Progress endures as both a literary and spiritual landmark. And that concludes our video.
Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Remember to hit that subscribe and the thumbs up. It'll really help our channel.
Ciao.
Bye.
See, Jojo? Look at you.
Look how cute.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
I'm Jennifer. I think we're gonna have to start this over. Nutball, come here.
In this video, we're going to show you what we got that's new. In this video, we're going to show you what's new. We have a...
Okay, 100.